यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारी Hare Krishna. So I hope you all had a restful Thanksgiving week. Thanksgiving is a kind of a unique. Thank you so much, Geetamrita. So Thanksgiving actually is a wonderful concept. In a way, it is a helpful reminder to the importance of giving thanks and expressing our gratitude. The principle of gratitude to God is universally enshrined in the world's religious scriptures. Gratitude is much easier to cultivate with more spiritual vision of life. So in this community, in this ISKCONofRoundRock, we are grateful for the wonderful community we have, the association of devotees we have, the opportunity that we get to serve Shri Shri Radha Kunj Bihari Ji, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mayan Shri Gaurnitai, and for all of you present here. So, thank you so much because it's because of all of you who are present here. It makes our community. So we'll begin today by reading from Sri Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse number 26. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti uphratam ashnami prayatatmanah. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati
tadaham bhakti upahritam ashnami prayatatmanah.
Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati तद अहम भक्ति उपहृतम अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनः पत्रं पुष्पं फलं तोयं
यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति
यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति
तदहं भक्ति उपहृतम्
तद अहम भक्त्या उपहृतम्
अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनः
अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनः पत्रं पुष्पं फलं तोयं यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति तद अहम भक्त्या उपहृतम्
अस्नामि प्रयतात्मनः
अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनः पत्रं पुष्पं फलं तोयं
यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति
यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति
तदहं भक्ति उपहर्तम्
तदहं भक्त्या उपहर्तम्
अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनः
अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनः. So we can read the translation. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. Purport, if somebody wanted to read.
For the intelligent person, it is essential to be in Krishna consciousness, engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord in order to achieve a permanent blissful abode for eternal happiness. The process of achieving such a marvelous result is very easy and can be attempted even by the poorest of the poor without any kind of qualification. The only qualification required in this connection is to be a pure devotee of the Lord. It does not matter what one is or where one is situated. The process is so easy that even a leaf or a little water or fruit can be offered to the Supreme Lord in genuine love, and the Lord will be pleased to accept it. No one, therefore, can be barred from Krishna consciousness because it is so easy and universal. Who is such a fool that he does not want to be Krishna conscious by this simple method and thus attain the highest perfectional life of eternity, bliss, and knowledge? Krishna wants only loving service and nothing more. Krishna accepts even a little flower from his pure devotee. He does not want any kind of offering from a non-devotee. He is not in need of anything from anyone because he is self-sufficient, and yet he accepts the offering of his devotee in an exchange of love and affection. To develop Krishna consciousness is the highest perfection of life. Bhakti is mentioned twice in this verse in order to declare more emphatically that bhakti, or devotional service, is the only means to approach Krishna. No other conditions, such as becoming a brahmana, a learned scholar, a very rich man, or a great philosopher, can induce Krishna to accept some offering. Without the basic principle of bhakti, nothing can induce the Lord to agree to accept anything from anyone. Bhakti is never causal. The process is eternal. It is direct action in service to the Absolute Whole.
Here, Lord Krishna, having established that he is the only enjoyer, the primeval Lord, and the real object of all sacrificial offerings, reveals what types of sacrifices he desires to be offered. If one wishes to engage in devotional service to the Supreme in order to be purified and to reach the goal of life, the transcendental loving service of God, then one should find out what the Lord desires of him. One who loves Krishna will give him whatever he wants, and he avoids offering anything which is undesirable or unasked. Thus, meat, fish, and eggs should not be offered to Krishna. If he desires such things as offerings, he would have said so. Instead, he clearly requests that a leaf, fruit, flowers, and water be given to him, and he says of this offering, I will accept it.
Thank you, Sharanprada Prabhu. So we'll chant the Mangalacharan prayers to invoke the auspiciousness. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutpadakalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपीश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम्. So, just a disclaimer, I am usually more accustomed to sit on the other side of the hall. So I honestly beg your forgiveness because I'm sure I'm going to make some mistakes. Please keep me in your blessings. So here, this verse states 4 things. Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam. Patram means leaf, Pushpam means flowers, Phalam means fruits, leaf means, Toyam means water. So Krishna is asking for 4 things. So, what kind of, leaf we will be like? I would like to read a purport, small paragraph of a purport from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, verse 55. Anyone who has land in India, at least any poor man, has a certain amount of land, can utilize that for Krishna by growing flowers to offer him. One can sow tulsi plants because tulsi leaves are very important and Krishna has recommended this in Bhagavad Gita. Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam. Krishna desires that one offer him either a leaf or a flower or a fruit or a little water. And by such an offering he is satisfied. This leaf specially refers to the tulsi. So one can sow tulsi and pour water on the plant. Thus, even the poorest man can engage in the service of Krishna. So the identity of the leaf here is revealed by Srila Prabhupada because there are thousands of leaves around us, in the universe. One might think, okay, why not banana leaf, bigger the better, but that's not the case. I personally like lotus flower leaves. They are very shiny and they look pretty when you keep them down. But it's not what we like, what Krishna likes. So Krishna likes leaf and person who has access to Bhagavad Gita, not any other scriptures, For him, Prabhupada has mentioned specifically, if you read, it's a leaf of tulsi plant. So we will focus our discussion today on Srimati Tulsi Devi. Tulsi occupies a very special place in the East as well as in the West. Especially in India, Tulsi is the ultimate symbol of purity and sacredness. It is highly appreciated in Ayurveda due to its medicinal properties. It is also known as elixir of life that promotes longevity. Her scientific name is Ocimum sanctum. Ocimum means belonging to family. Ocimum actually means basil. It's a lineaceae, it's a basil. And sanctum, it means sacred or something very pure. So when you combine those 2 words, it becomes holy basil. It's grown in 2 forms. There are many varieties of the tulsi, but here we are focusing on Ocimum sanctum. Shyama Tulsi and Rama Tulsi. It is of two colors, you can see. Dark side, it's known as Krishna or Shyama Tulsi. Lighter side or green, it's known as Rama Tulsi. So, our journey today is into the mystical world of the transcendental glories of Srimati Tulsi Devi, as illuminated by profound verses found in the scriptures. These verses are mere glimpses of that sacred space that reveal the divine essence and the unparalleled significance of Tulsi Maharani. We will delve into the Shastra, unveiling the sanctity of Tulsi roots, stem, leaf, flowers, the celestial entities, and the holy places that take refuge in her shelter. Actually, some of us who are not devotees, when you tell them that we worship Tulsi Maharani, they have a little trouble with the idea of worshipping Tulsi. Why are we worshipping a plant? What is the meaning of the name Tulsi? Who is she? Why Krishna likes her so much? What is the story behind the birth of the Tulsi? So many questions. At one point of the time, before we became a devotee, we had all these questions. So we'll try to get some answers briefly or elaborately, depending upon the time that we have. So, I'll just put it. So we'll be covering these topics: the birth of the Tulsi, identity of Tulsi Devi, capacity of Tulsi Devi, power of the Tulsi Devi, benefits of planting Tulsi Devi, 9 ways of serving her, and the name of Krishna's home. So we'll begin by the birth of the Tulsi Maharani. Tulsi tum amrit janmasi. Or we chant, while plucking the Tulsi Maharani, we say, Tulsi amrit janmasi sada tvam keshava priya keshavart chinomi tvam varda bhavashobhane. O Tulsi, you are born from nectar. You are always very dear to Lord Krishna. Now in order to worship Lord Krishna, I am collecting your leaves and manjaris. Please bestow your benediction on me to serve the Lord. Amrit Janmasi. Here, Amrit Janmasi means that she is born from the nectar. There are many stories, scriptures such as Padma Puran, Brahma Vaivarta Puran, Bhavishya Puran, Bhagavad Puran, Narad Puran, Shiva Puran, Skanda, Garga Samhita. They all have stories regarding to Tulsi Devi, but we are going to focus from Tulsi Stav from Padma Puran. It mentions that Srimati Tulsi Devi was born out of nectar from the churning of milk ocean. Like everybody here, I'm pretty sure, has one point of a time heard about the churning of milk ocean. When we were usually small, we heard this story from our parents. When we grew up, we read it, and when we became a devotee, we have a little bit more knowledge about when this churning of ocean took place or how the circumstances were there. So during the time of churning of the ocean, between Devatas and Danavas, a lot of things came out. The first being, anybody guesses? What was the first thing that came out of the churning of the ocean? Poison, yes. Halahal, Kalakuta, and it was drank by Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva took that poison. That's why his neck became blue, and he was also known as Nilkant. So these are some of the, things that came out of the ocean. Halahal poison, Surabhika, Uchishrayava, Airavat, Kaustuba, 8 Diggaj, Parijat, Apsaras, Goddess Lakshmi, Varuni, and at the last, Dhanvantari. So when at the last, Lord Dhanvantari came out. Lord Dhanvantari is also, a plenary portion of the Lord Vishnu. When he came out, he was holding a pot of a nectar. Here we can see. Lord is holding a pot of a nectar, and Lord is sitting on the top of the mountain. So when he came out of the ocean, he was holding a pot of a nectar. When the Lord saw this, he was so blissful. Lord is Supreme Lord is always blissful, Satchid Anand. He's full of Anand. But when he saw the end result, the Dhanvantri coming out of the ocean holding the pot, he was so moved by the hard work of the devotees that they did. His eyes still filled with the tears of happiness. And the few drops of the tears rolled down of his cheek, and they fell into that pot of nectar. Encircling. They made a circling figure, and out of that circling figure, Tulsi Maharani came out. So she was born out of the happy tears. It's also called Anand Bhashp. Anand means happy, Bhashp means tears. From that happy tears or the joy of tears, Srimati Tulsi Devi was born. Actually, one may say, how can, tears give rise to Tulsi Devi? But Supreme Lord Narayan or Mahavishnu is the source of all creation. Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami. From him comes everything. From his navel comes beautiful lotus, and on his Brahma is sitting there. So he gives birth to Brahma out of his navel. Rig Veda, Purush Sukta or Rig Veda mentions Chandrama Manaso Jatash, Chakshasho Surya Ajayat, Mukhat Indrascha Agnishcha, Pranat Vayur Ajayatah. The moon was born from his mind, the Surya was born from his eyes, Indra and Agni came out from his mouth, Vayu came out from his breath. So Lord can give birth through any parts of his body. Angani yas saklendriya vritti manti, pashyanti panti kalyanti chiran jaganti, ananda chinmay sadujjwal vigrahasya, govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Likewise, Srimati Tulsi Devi was born from the tears of from the eyes of the Lord. Krishnat samudbhuta shirot mathanot dayame uttamange purayena tulsi vishnu dhrita. You were generated from the pleasure of Lord Krishna during the endeavor of churning the milk ocean, and in ancient times, Lord Vishnu placed you on his head. So here we know how she was born. Now we have to ask, who is Tulsi Devi? In order to understand who is Tulsi Devi, we must also understand who Vrinda Devi is. In fact, Tulsi Devi and Vrinda Devi, they are one and the same. She exhibits two forms. She is actually one of the Sakhis of Radharani. In that form, she is Vrinda Devi. And then she also exhibits herself in the form of a plant that we call Tulsi Devi. So she has two names. As a person form, she is Vrinda Devi. As a plant form, she is known as the Tulsi Devi. Who is Vrinda Devi now? Vrinda Devi is responsible for setting up the wonderful pastimes of Shri Radha and Krishna. She supervises Krishna's pastimes with her parrots. You can see here in the picture, she's holding a parrot. The color of the parrot is yellow. She holds her pet parrot. His name is Daksha. And what does this parrot do? This parrot flies past and is relay her whatever is going on the Vrindavan. He's her spy kind of, Yes, he flies in the Vrindavan and he collects all the information. So that Daksha, he goes and collects the information and he comes and tells to Vrinda Devi, and then she makes arrangements accordingly. So this Daksh also is very Daksh in the way he also has 100,000 disciples. So the messenger has got another network of spies. So these are a very beautiful pastimes of Srimati Vrinda Devi. Then she is also known, Vrinda Devi is also known as Shri Sakhi. Shri Sakhi because Shri is also, we know Shri as Mahalakshmi. She is also a friend of a Mahalakshmi. As well, Shri is our Shri Radharani. In Radha Sahasranam Stotra, we find 2 times mention of Tulsi Devi. Tulsi Adhashtritri Devi as well as Tulsi Toshani. The Tulsi Adhashtratri Devi means the goddess who is the presiding deity of Srimati Tulsi Devi. And Tulsi Toshini means one who pleases Tulsi Devi. So Vrinda Devi is a Nitya Sakhi of Shri Shri Radha Rani. And she is meant for the eternal service of Srimati Radharani and Krishna in the spiritual world as well as in the material world when they descend down. There's a very beautiful verse in Chaitanya Charanamrit Adi 4.125. It says, Kasmad vrinde priya sakhi hare padamulat kutostau. Kasmad vrinde, oh my dear friend, priya sakhi. Radharani is calling her Priya Sakhi. So that is her identity. She's Priya Sakhi of Radharani. And she's asking her, where are you coming from? She's saying, from the lotus feet of Shri Krishna. So how much? There are other names of Tulsi Maharani. There are 8 other names of Tulsi Devi. Please chant with me. Vrinda Vrinda Vani Vishwa. Pujita Vishwa Pavani. Pushpasara Nandani Cha. Tulsi Krishna Jivani. So the meaning of the names are given here. Vrinda, the goddess of all plants. Vrindavani, one who first manifested in Vrindavan. Even if a forest has a single plant of Tulsi Devi, that is known as Vrindavan. Vishwa Pujita, one who the whole universe worships. Vishwapavani, one who purifies the 3 worlds. Pushpasara, the topmost of all flowers, without whom Krishna does not like to look upon any other flower. Nandini, she gives happiness. Tulsi, one who has no comparison. Krishna Jivani, the life and soul of Lord Krishna. So the meaning of Tulsi is revealed here. One who has no comparison. Tulsi itasya padasya artha yasya tulana nasti iti. One who cannot be compared. She is also known as Sadanand, one who is always happy and cheerful. In fact, when you see a lush green Tulsi Maharani, you will suddenly smile. Without any reason, you will smile. She will gladden you. Oh, wow, look at Tulsi Maharani. She's so beautiful. She's so green. She is in Avraksh and Vraksharup. Like we read, she is in the form of a tree as a Tulsi Devi, as well she is in a form of Vraksha in a Vrinda Devi. And she is also Moksha Prada and Amrita Pradayini. She will grant liberation. With all these qualities, she is Sada Keshava's prayer. No doubt, Lord Krishna loves her so much. Now, if somebody has that much affection, somebody gets so much affection of Lord, what is their potency? What is their capacity? There are, in our scriptures, we say we have 33 crores of Devi Devatas. Each of the Devi Devatas, they are actually superintendents of our galaxy. They have certain things, certain powers, and they control them. So every Devata, like Indra has the power of rain, Surya has the power to shine. So they all have certain capacities. So there must be some special capacity in Tulsi Devi too. Kindly chant after me. This is from Brahman Puran. Yanmule sarva tirthani. Yanmadhye sarva devata. Yadagre sarva vedescha. Tulsi tvam namamyaham. At Tulsi's base roots are all the holy places. In the middle stem are all the Devi Devas. And in her top position, the leaves or head recite all the Vedas. I bow to you humbly. Yan mule sarva tirthani. So wherever we are growing Tulsi, we must know that's not an ordinary place. Tirth means sacred space, Sacred places of pilgrimage where we go, where Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna resides. Those are known as sacred spaces. There are numerous Tirth sthals, Dwarka, Mathura, Vrindavan, Jagannath Puri, Tirupati, Badrikashram. Scripture says there are 516 million Tirth Kshetras within this universe. It's just unimaginable, and we cannot in one lifetime go around all the Tirth places. But here, Yanmul Sarva Tirthani. At the base of Tulsi root, all these holy places, all these 560 million Tirth places, they come and take shelter of the Tulsi Devi. The soil of the Tulsi Devi, for us, it's to remember the lesson. You can just put the soil of the Tulsi Devi on your forehead and you get the benefits of all the Tirtha Kshetra that are within this planet as well as within the universe. Janmadhe Sarva Devata. In the middle of the Tulsi plant, all the Devatas, all the demigods, they come and they are staying, they are living there. Because they have understood the potency of the Srimati Tulsi Devi, how dear she is to Lord Krishna, they have taken her refuge in the middle portion of her stem. It's kind of unimaginable to think, if you look at with that vision, how pious that plant is, how potency the plant has. Yad agre sarva vedescha. So on the top portion of the Tulsi Maharani, the canopy, all the Vedas, all the knowledge of the Vedas, they are sitting there. Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Rig Ved, Yajur Ved, Sam Ved, Athar Ved, Ishopanishad, Mundokupanishad, Ken Upanishad, Katha Upanishad, you name all the Vedas, all the knowledge, everything is situated on the top of the Tulsi Maharani. To that, I am humbly paying my obeisances. So, this is how her, anatomy is, from the root, stem to the top. Tirth, Devi Devatas, and the top portion, all the knowledge. So, where is Lord Krishna now here? So, Tulsi Maharani has a very beautiful pointed green leaves, right? And that leaf is known as Tulsi Dal. In scriptures, we call it Tulsi Dal. In every Tulsi Dal, Swayam Narayan is present. Narayan has so many forms. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadi, Anantarupam. Anantarup. So, what are some of the names, we take of Krishna's? Keshav, Madhav, Govinda, Narayan, Vishnu, Damodar, Achyut. Whatever names we have, Krishna is present in each leaf, in each forms. Every leaf of Tulsi Maharani, Krishna is present in that forms. Numerous unlimited forms Krishna has. It's not that we know 108 names of Krishna and Tulsi Maharani has like 108 leaves. No, she has hundreds and thousands of leaves. In each leaf, Krishna is present there. Once after the war of Kurukshetra, Krishna was staying with Yudhishthir Maharaj. So Yudhishthir Maharaj asked a lot of questions with him. We also read during Ekadashi Vrat Kratha. Yudhishthir Maharaj is asking questions. So once he said to Krishna, "O Lord, which flower can be used by your devotees to worship you?" The Lord gave a list of flowers. Then he gave the hierarchy of flowers that he likes. Sarveshamapi pushpanam sahasra gunamutpalam tasmat padmam tatha rajan padmatu shatapatrakam tasmat sahasra patram tu pundarīkānaṁ tatah param pundarīkā sahastrastu tulasi gunātadhika. Of all the flowers, O king, the bluish lotus flower Utpalam is 1,000 times more qualified for my worship. Greater than that is the red lotus Padmam flower. Of the red lotus, the lotus with 100 petals is more qualified. Better than that is the red lotus with 1,000 petals. Better than this is the white lotus flower Pundarika. And better than white lotus flower with 1,000 petals is the tulsi leaf, which is even more qualified for my worship. So, if we don't have time to go to Walmart or HEB for flowers, we know what to do. If we have the mercy of Tulsi Maharani, she is growing lusciously, you do not have to worry. Just pick one flower, Krishna Arpanamastu, we are good. So, this is, and another, beautiful verse is there from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3rd, 15th chapter, text 19. It also explains the special position of Tulasi. Although there are numerous flowering plants full of transcendental fragrance in the spiritual realm, they are aware that Tulasi is given special preference by the Lord, who garlands himself with Tulasi leaves. Krishna likes to garland himself with Tulasi leaf. There's another beautiful verse in Chaitanya Charanamrit. Please chant. Tulasi dala matrena jalasya chulukena va vikriniti swayam atmanam bhaktebhyo bhaktavatsalaha. Shri Krishna, who is very affectionate towards his devotees, sells himself to a devotee who offers merely a tulasi leaf and a palmful of water. We know the story of Advaita Acharya, right? He forced the Lord to come down from the spiritual to material world with what? Just a palmful of water and a tulasi leaf. But how are you supposed to offer this tulasi leaf to the Lord? No. Dui deke dui patra madhya komal manjari eimat ashta manjari dibe shraddha kari. With faith and love, you should offer 8 soft tulsi flowers, each with 2 tulasi leaves on one side, one on each side of flower. So manjari or the flower has to be in middle and 2 leaves on the side. Any guesses why Krishna is why it is emphasized here 2 leaves on the side? No, I know, but because I read it. But any guesses? What's the significance of offering manjari leaves with 2, leaves on each side? So the Shastras say, on one side of the leaf, Lord Brahma is sitting. On another side, Lord Shiva is sitting. And the manjari, Lord Vishnu or Narayan himself is sitting on that. So this is the process to offer manjaris. Specifically manjaris, if you're offering, you have to offer manjaris with 2 leaves on the side. They come like they're trio, they come together. Leaves you can offer, one, but not the manjaris. So this is kind of an exalted position of Tulasi Maharani. Even Srimad Bhagavatam also mentions one nice story, that Mahalakshmi, Lakshmi Devi is also jealous of the position of Tulasi Maharani. Lakshmi Devi is sitting where? In the heart of the Krishna. And what is the position of Tulasi Maharani? She is on the lotus feet of the Lord. So what do you think? The lotus feet or the heart? Which do you think is the higher position? Technically it should be heart, right, Mandaji? But here, Tulasi Devi is at the lotus feet, but Lakshmi Maharani, she is jealous of Tulasi Devi. Why? Because she's sitting in the lotus feet, but Lakshmi Maharani, she has to go away from the heart of the Lord to please her devotees. She has to get out of the heart and she has to go down to the material world and bless the people who are worshipping her. But Tulasi Devi, she never forsakes her position. She's stuck to the lotus feet of the Lord. She's always at the lotus feet of the Lord. So that is the exalted position. Shri Mahalakshmi is jealous of our Tulasi Maharani. So, what is the power of Tulasi Devi Darshan? Kindly chant after me. Ya drishta nikhlagha sang shamani. Sprishta vapuh pavani. Roganam abhivandita nirsani. Siktant tatrasini. Pratyasatti vidhayani bhagavatah. Krishyasya samropita. न्यस्ता तच्चरणे विमुक्ति फलदा. Tulsai tulsai namaha. Tai tulsai namaha. We bow down again and again to Goddess Tulsi, whose sight destroys our sin, whose touch purifies our body, to whom by paying obeisances we are cured of our illness, who when watered frightens even the Yamaraj, Lord of Death, who upon being strung into a mala and adorned around Sri Krishna's neck, as well as being mounted on his head, takes us closer to him, and who by offering to his lotus feet grants us the fruit of liberation. Ya drishta nikhlagha sang shamani. By looking at the Tulsi or glancing at the Tulsi Maharani, the beautiful plant, whatever sins that we have accumulated over lifetimes, it is all destroyed. We do not have any, remembrance of our past lives. Is this our first human life? We don't know. It could have been millions and millions times that we have taken birth. And if we have taken millions and millions times of birth, we have accumulated so much pap, so much sins. We have no idea. We are here in this material world because we have done some karmas, and they could be good or bad karma. So by looking at that Tulsi Maharani, she destroys our sin. All these sins are destroyed. Sprishta vapuh pavani. By touching her, by touching the Tulsi leaves, our body gets purified. See, every day it happens that we meet a lot of people. Some are sinful, greedy, cheating mentality, immoral, angry, They might be thinking how to hurt us, how to cheat us. Their consciousness is polluted. They tell lies. And what happens when we mingle with this kind of sinful people around us? Our consciousness gets polluted. We also become impure. So, regarding this, I was reading a book called Tattva by Maharaj, Swam Keshav Swami Maharaj, and he said, once I came back from book distribution, his mentor, he said him to take bath, cold water. It was winter though. He said take a bath. When I was reading that, I was kind of intrigued. Why? I also go to big distribution. So when I read that, I started taking bath. His mentor said, you are mingling with so many people outside. Their consciousness is rubbing onto you. Once you are out from there, you should come and take bath. But when I read this verse, it just, a light bulb ignited in my mind. Oh, this is the reason. Because you're mixing with so many people, their consciousness is rubbing onto you. But here it says, touch Tulsi Maharani. And then you come, you take bath, you touch Tulsi Maharani, and she purifies you, your body, your mind, your consciousness. Everything is purified. She takes away all the negativity around you. That is her power. Roganam abhivandita nirasani. By praying to her, the diseases that we have, sometimes we suffer with ailments, right? And that is why Tulsi is so dear in the West, because they capitalize on her medicinal qualities a lot more. But that is her potency. A lot of this. You just go and do a Google search. Benefits of Ossimum Sanctum or Holy Tulsi. You'll give it a long list. Long list of the diseases and ailments that she can cure. See, they have done research now. The Shastras are saying since so back. Siktam tak trasini. By watering her, Siktam means giving water her. She takes the guarantee of pulling us out from the repeated birth and death of the cycle of the birth and death. Pratyasatti vidhayini bhagavatah keshan samropita. By planting her, she gets us close to Shri Krishna. And why is this possible? Because Krishna is present in each leaf of Tulsi Maharani in each of his forms. So when you plant, she gets us close to Krishna. She gives us devotion to Krishna. Nashtya tacharane vimukti falada. By bowing down to her, vimukti falada, finally she will take you towards liberation from this material. She gives the fruit of Krishna Bhakti. Tulsi, Tulsiyai Namaha. To that Tulsi we bow down. So once we read what is the benefit of planting Tulsi Maharani. See, by planting Krishna, we get close to Krishna. But the scriptures also say something else. Yavat shaka prakhabera bija pushpadalai shubhai ropita tulsi mratyera vardate vasudhatale tesham vanshashu ye jata ye bhavishyanti ye gata akalpayug sahasram tesham vaso harer grahe. A person who plants tulsi liberates his family. As many branches, sub-branches, seeds, flowers and leaves are on the tulsi he has planted, so many ancestors and descendants in his family for thousands of kalpa yugas will go to Lord Krishna's transcendental abode. We usually get excited, if somebody says, oh, you have got a free accommodation for 3 nights, 4 days, or 4 nights, 3 days in Paris, Govinda, what a jackpot, we got a coupon, Somebody is giving us free accommodation for 3 days, 4 nights, or even a week. No, let's pack our bag, go to vacation. 1 kalp is 4.32 billion years of Brahmas. 1 kalp, 1 half day. If you calculate that 1 day, and Brahma lives for 100 years, and he's saying, here the Shastra is saying, thousands of Kalpa Yugas, so many ancestors and descendants, you can call them all. Like you're going to vacation, do you think you can call all your family members, hey, come, we want to go to vacation, pack your bags? No. Here the Shastra is saying, come, everybody join in. Because you have planted Tulsi Maharani, all those relatives, friends, everybody is going to live with Krishna in Vaikuntha, Narayana, they're going to live with Narayana in Vaikuntha. Sahasram tesham vaso harer grahe. They are going to transcendental abode for, we just don't know how many yugas. I know, means we like some, we have relatives which, we are not so kind and they are not kind to us. They also join you. So that is the power of, planting Tulsi Maharani. See, is it so difficult to plant a Tulsi Maharani? No, it's not, right? Generally, benefits or perks are actually proportional to the amount of work you do. See, if I say, Mataji or Prabhuji, can you take this glass of water and keep it there? And I give you a check of $1 million, you will be thinking, what did I do to deserve that? Just keeping a glass of water from here to there, why is Mataji giving me $1 million? This is exactly like that. If you plant one tulsi plant, this is the amount of benefit that we are going to receive. See, actually, Brahma Vaivarta Puran gives a list of blessings one can, achieve by planting, by offering tulsi leaves, drinking the water that has touched the tulsi leaf. But the main thing is these are all secondary benefits. The real benefit is that by worshipping Tulsi Maharani, by offering her leaves, one attains love for Krishna, the devotion for Krishna. Bhakti, prema bhakti she grants to you. In this regard, I would like to tell a story of Her Grace Srimati Govinda Dasi. She was a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And why she is so important? Because after Srila Prabhupada came and established the temples were having very hard time growing tulsi plants. It was very difficult at that time. Somehow Tulsi Devi was not merciful. She was not growing well here. So Mataji went to Vrindavan, got some seeds. She came back, planted, multiple failures, She was not getting seedlings. And finally, she even started worshipping one thing that came out. Eventually, she realized it was a blade of a grass. To that extent, she was desperate to grow Tulsi Maharani. And then, somehow, Tulsi Maharani germinated. And she grew, so much she grew, she became like 6 to 7 foot tall. When Srila Prabhupada came to know of that, he was so happy, he was delighted. He was so happy that he mentioned her in Srimad Bhagavatam, purport of Canto 4, 8th chapter 55. He gave her name. She was living. She read that purport. Can you imagine the benefit? Her name was mentioned by her Guru Maharaj. Where? In Srimad Bhagavatam. What is Srimad Bhagavatam? Is Krishna himself in the book form. That much mercy Tulsi Devi bestowed on her. So there are 9 ways of serving Tulsi Maharani. Please chant. Drishta sprishta tatha dhyata kirtita namita shruta ropita sevita nityam pujita tulsi shubha. You should always gaze on Tulsi, touch her, remember her, glorify her, bow down before her, offer prayers to her, plant her, serve her, and worship her. Then she will grant your desire. See, last week, His Grace Kanai Gopal Prabhu mentioned Navvida Bhakti, devotional service. 9 ways of devotional service. So here we have 9 ways of serving Tulsi Maharani. What is Drishta? Drishta means to look at her. Even looking at her is auspicious. Sprishta, touch her. We should try to touch Tulsi Maharani as much as we can. Of course, our hands should be clean. We are actually so scared, sanctity or sacredness is there. By childhood, anything sacred, we are afraid to touch. We usually do not go and touch, we don't go and hug Lord, we don't go and touch anything which is sacred. We are very scared. But no, we should touch Tulsi Maharani. We should remember her. Dhyata means remembering. We have to remember her, meditate onto her. Kirtita, we should glorify Tulsi Maharani. We should sing. We should namita, bow down to her. We should listen to her. Shruta, we should hear the stories about Tulsi Maharani. We should ropita, plant her. And sevita, I would like to, sevita means serving. How do you serve? You take care of her, you water her, shade her. If it's weather is not conducive environment, you bring her inside. If the weather is nice, you give her the sunshine. So this is one form of the sevita. So taking care of her time to time, that's called sevita. But one may be tempted to ask, oh, you have told so many stories about the past and all those things. So scriptures also, it's not only scriptures. Learned persons, the transcendentals, they have also said that serving Tulsi can make one a devotee without one's prior preaching. You do not have to preach anybody. If they are serving Tulsi Maharani, they will become devotee in a course of time. There's a small Russian story, I would like to, I think we have a couple of minutes, I'll tell. So in a city of Russia, 10 kilometers away from Moscow, there was a girl servant of Tulsi Maharani. She told this story. How she became a devotee is like that. Actually, her neighbor, she was going for a work. She was a devotee. She gave her tulsi plant. Because she had to go for a long time, she gave her tulsi plant to the neighbor. When she saw, she said, "What is this?" The devotee girl said, "It's a tulsi, it's a plant, it's a holy plant from India." Then the girl, she said, "What do I do with her?" So the devotee girl said, "I am going out for work, I need money, and I'll be gone for a long time. Can you please take care of her?" He said, "What do I do with her?" She said, "Just water her and sing songs to her. That's all you have to do. Sing songs to her and water her." So she started doing. After 2 weeks of the time, suddenly she started thinking, what am I doing? What kind of life I am living? And she gave up drinking liquor and eating meat. It's very unusual thing because this was in December, January. And in Russia, it's so cold, people are usually into drinking. Person who are habituated to drinking, they will not leave drinking. She left that. It's a rarity, right? And then while walking out on the street, she met a devotee. Like we give book distribution, go out for distribution. She met a person who was distributing Bhagavad Gita. She bought that Bhagavad Gita too. Another rarity. After getting Bhagavad Gita, she one day walked into the temple also. After walking into the temple, somebody said, "Why don't you take prasad, Mataji?" She got prasad also. After the prasad, somebody said, "Why don't you have the darshan? I'll take you upstairs. We'll give you darshan also." And when she went near Shri Gaurnitai, what did she saw? Tulsi Maharani. And she was like excited, "Oh, I have this plant." So, what was the reaction of the devotee? He laughed. He knew that Srimati Tulsi Devi Seva has made her a devotee without prior preaching or cultivation. So if you want to get, it's not difficult. If you want to get Krishna Bhakti, we have to do service to Tulsi Maharani. Is it difficult? Does it require any qualification? Man, woman, rich, poor, old, young, little seed, little soil, put it there. It's accessible to everybody. Old, young, no, man, woman, no qualification is required. See, what happens when we wake up every morning, the kala or the time that will bring our karma. It's just like when the season comes, mango tree will produce mango fruit, neem tree will produce neem fruit, like good and bad. It's not like suddenly mango tree will start producing neem or the neem will start producing mangoes. No. The kala or the time, it will bring out our good and bad karma according to our previous actions in the previous last births. How much we have done sin or whatever good or bad we have. That's why, some days they are so good and some days they are horrible. Why is it so? It's all because the time is bringing out our karma based on our actions. So what is the remedy for that? Very simple. Each morning, take bath, take Tulsi Darshan, worship her, circumambulate her, and she will take care. She will bless you, she will eradicate your sins, and she will give you Krishna Bhakti. What else do you want? Right? But the thing is, we need to have that faith. We have to remove our material veil. We cannot serve her like a plant. That moment we think her as a plant, we lose all the piety that we have collected. We have to look at her as a spiritual plant. Oh, sorry. So, name of Krishna's home. What is the name of Krishna's home? Of course, it's given here in the slide. Krishna's home is Vrindavan. Actually, it's still today, like my home was also named after my, I think, great-grandfather. When my father built a house, in India we usually do that. We built a house and then we name it after somebody very special or very dear or somebody has like an indelible effect have made an indelible effect on your mind, something like that. So Krishna's home is named Vrindavan. That is how much Krishna likes her, loves her. His home's name is Vrindavan. 5,000 years ago, when Krishna descended to earth to perform his pastimes, Vrinda Devi created the proper environment for his pastimes in Vrindavan. She is such a divine manifestation of love that the eternal abode of Lord Krishna is also known as Golok Vrindavan. Krishna has named his home Vrindavan. Krishna himself is also known as, what are the names of Krishna that begins with Vrinda? Any guesses? Like we call Krishna by, Vrindavan Chandra, Vrindavan Vihari, Vrindavan Sancharane. So these are names of Krishna. That is the power and potency of Srimati Tulsi Devi. Wherever there is Tulsi Devi, there is Krishna. If you think of Krishna, you think of Tulsi Devi. If you think of Tulsi Devi, you think of Krishna. Why is this so? Because she is none other than, expansion of Srimati Radharani. She is her Nitya Sakhi too, but she is also an expansion of Srimati Radharani. That is why she is so dear to Krishna. What is Krishna's favorite plant? Let's have Tulsi Devi. How he likes to be dressed with Tulsi garlands. How is his feet decorated? Tulsi flowers, manjaris. We as a devotee, we have these neck beads, right? Why are we wearing these neck beads? Because it's made of Tulsi, yes. Tulsi is dear to Krishna, and we want Krishna Bhakti. Tulsi is dear, her roots, her stems, her leaves. Everything is dear, Tulsi purifies us, whatever we eat. Yamaraj doesn't come here. Yamadutas. Actually, it's said that we should be afraid of Yamaduts, But Yamaduts, when they see a neck bead around us, they run away. It should be other way, right? When we see Yamaduta, we should be running away. But it's other way around. Papani yani, Ravisuno, Fatastani. We have collected so many paps from the... There's actually a list of paps that Shastra says, Pitruhatya, Matrahatya, Gohatya, means you can cheating propensity, killing somebody, lying. So many paps are collected. Ravi Suno. Who is Ravi Suno? Yamraj. He's a son of his son God, Ravi Suno. That, but he's waiting. Fatistani means he's waiting with the Yama Pasha to take us, drag us to the Yamaloka for our sins. But when he sees this Kanthi Mala around our neck, he just doesn't. All those, Yamadutas, they stay away from us. Nashyanti Tani Tulsi Vanadarshana. As soon as they see this, all those sins, they are gone, and Vishnu Dutas come at the end of the time. So that is her potency. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, Srimati Tulsi Maharani is our spiritual master. She is the queen of Vrindavan Dham. It is only by her mercy that one can be qualified to enter into Sri Vrindavan Dham. We wear Tulsi Maharani around our neck, knowing that she is very dear to Lord Krishna. By our allegiance to her, we chant the name of Lord Hari. Srila Prabhupada also stressed that for devotees aspiring to enter the eternal realm of Vrindavan, service to Vrinda Devi is essential. Vrinda Devi is simultaneously in Goloka, in her original spiritual form, and on the earth as a Tulsi Devi. Though she may look like a regular plant, her form is actually spiritual. Just like a deity is not different from Krishna, Tulsi is not different from Vrinda Devi. She is just like a living deity. She is living, breathing, growing, and is the visual yardstick of our devotion to Krishna. Her mercy can pull you out of the birth and death. It can pull you to the Lord's lotus feet. It can jolt you out of your impersonalism, just like 4 Kumaras. The fragrance of the Tulsi, they were immediately purified of impersonalism. And it will force the Lord to descend from the spiritual world to the material in the most magnanimous form of Lord Chaitanya. By what? By just offering little water and तुलसी लील ऐ निवेदन धारो शाखिरानुगत करो सेवा अधिकार दिए करो निज दासी. Sorry. That should be our mood. I'm so sorry. So, तुलसी महारानी की जय, शूला प्रपात की जय.
Dear devotees, we have almost 10 minutes of time. If you have any questions for Mataji, or if you want to share any of your realizations or any thoughts about today's class.
You know what, how we should serve her and what should be our mood while serving. And we do certain things without knowing, what we are doing. So it was very informative. Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for a
Mataji.
wonderful class.
This is not the question, but I have a suggestion. Like we should celebrate. We are celebrating many Vaishnava festivals throughout the year. We should celebrate Tulsi Maharani's on Vivaha Day also in this temple.
Thank you, Mataji. Wonderful suggestion.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thanks for the insightful class. I just wanted to know that when we grow Tulasi, sometimes she doesn't grow up.
Yes.
So what is that we have to do if she doesn't grow up? Is it sinful or...
Prabhuji, in the plant form here, I do understand there is a lot of constraints. It doesn't mean that you beat yourself up if she's not growing. But the thing is, there are certain soils, weather, temperature, and I've seen it's not here. If you maintain that, I'm pretty sure, if you maintain the requirements for her growth, she does thrive. Not here, it's a Texas, it's still warm here. I've seen in Michigan, temples have lush green Tulsi Maharani, Prabhuji. And they have that grow lights and all. You do have to invest in something what is required. That's what comes under Sevita, you have to do Seva. So you have to figure out what is wrong. Because Tulsi Maharani, she doesn't like her feet wet, one thing. You cannot water her. Especially in winter, you cannot water her every day. You have to touch the soil to feel it. The soil has to be dry 2 inches, fingers down. Then you are supposed to water. But this condition doesn't apply in the summer. Most of the time, Tulsi Maharani leaves winter. Winter is the thing, weather where she usually leaves. One thing is the watering. No, the soil cannot be soggy. You have to leave the soil dry. You cannot pour every day, like when we do Tulasi Aarti and worship. You have, the Achmani has a very small spoon. For the purpose of that, you can do that. But you have to water once a week up to the water flows out of the pot. Then you have to stop till the water dries. So if you do this, I'm pretty sure it will help you with a lot of problems. But in the summer, you cannot do that. Like in the summer, you have to water according to the weather and temperature. So you cannot beat yourself if you're watering every day and then she leaves the body. It is some of the mistakes that we are doing. So you have to figure out the right condition, the right moisture, and the right temperature. And of course, devotion is there, Prabhuji, It's just you have to get around seeing what works at that point of time, at that temperature. Anything else?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I am new. And whenever I get chance, opportunity, I attend. After going through today's Tulsi Maharani's importance, or I am poor in English, kindly excuse me. See, I have been advised to take Tulsi powder for my ailments. Since now, when I came to know, now
Yes.
I am scared of using. Kindly guide me, advise me.
So yes, Prabhuji, unqualified as I am, I will try to, answer. Shastras say strictly they forbid. According to Shastra, it's a very, very slicky, road, sticky surface to walk onto. But Shastras also says to honor Tulsi Maharani. Honor means whatever Tulsi is offered to the Lord, you have to honor. You can take that. If your Tulsi Maharani has been offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, you can use it. But the first condition is it has to be offered to the lotus feet of the Lord. So we find like a middle path, We don't make a smoothie out of it, sorry.
Any other?
Firstly, I would like to congratulate Devi Gaurangi for an amazing, amazing class. Very informative. I think we should have a follow-up seminar on how to grow tulsi at home. How many are with me? Haribol. Yeah, she's actually, if you see her, there you go.
There is my
if you
Tulsi
see her
Maharani.
Tulsi Maharanis, they're absolutely beautiful. I had a question. We don't have to answer it here, but I was just thinking, like in India, we see this practice very commonly in Indian households that almost all the households have tulsi plant.
Yes.
And like you were saying, like I'm sure people understood the importance or significance of having tulsi plant at home. Like, it takes away your sins. It helps liberate so many of your ancestors. But we also see sometimes some of these households, they're meat eaters.
Yes.
So how do we understand that Tulsi Maharani's existence in such a place?
Yes, Mataji is kind of, as I said, I'm unqualified. But the thing is, I think we should ask somebody who's more, because this question also boggles me. But again, if you think it as a plant, India is a tropical country. The environment certain plant requires, it's just a material view. There are certain environments that are required by a plant to grow. And because India is the place where Krishna comes down, it's a holy land. Wherever Krishna's foot or footprints are there, Tulsi will grow there. It doesn't matter if that person is meat eater or not. Because Krishna has walked on that surface, Tulsi will thrive there. Plus, the environment, the weather, it makes the conducive for the plant to grow there. But this is one of the reasons in India we find Tulsi everywhere. You do not have to, put efforts. Seeds you throw, wind will take the manjaris, flowers. But Krishna has walked at that surface. Personally, all his pastimes and leelas and rasas are there. So Tulsi is happy touching that place. This is my understanding, Mataji.
Any other questions? We still have 2 more minutes. Rajkoti Prabhu.
Is there any particular reason that we don't water on Sundays, Mataji?
Yes, there is a Shastras, Prabhuji, like there was a shloka which said that we should, it's not here, But because the lot of stories are given, I mentioned, right, Bhavishya, Narad Puran, Padma Puran, and lot of Purans, Garg Samhita, and they have a lot of stories about Tulsi Devi. So in one of those, they mentioned, but it's not relevant for us as a devotee. Like in ISKCON devotee, we were never said to not water Tulsi on Sunday. As far as I know, only after Ekadashi, Dwadashi it's said. Dwadashi we do not pluck leaves, we do not water on Ekadashi because she's fasting. But yes, there are stories, but then there are also, I said, lot of stories are there because it's for, karma, you want to have karma. It's not for devotion, it's not for bhakti. So devotion and, attaining, doing karma kanda or bhakti, because they also tries to elevate you from the material, animalistic platform to the, little bit higher platforms. So certain stories, incentives, falashrutis are given. If you do this, this will happen. If you don't do this, this. So that is to raise our consciousness to a little bit higher platform. So that why these do's and don'ts are there, niyam and all those yam niyam. But for devotion and for bhakti, we have to, see from the another vision. We have to remove our material veil. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. Tulsi? No, Mataji. Tulsi Maharani strives best at 70 degrees. It's not that, if it's the weather here is like sunny, 60 degrees is also fine. But sometimes if it's sunny and it is chill, you may be fooled. Tulsi Maharani will be burned. You just keep her outside, and then you will see the black leaves. So you have to use your own presence of mind. Like if you keep your hands bare, like this, and you can stand outside without feeling the chill, that's normal. But if you stand there like this and your hands are getting numb, that's what happens to Tulsi Maharani too. She's not wearing any clothes, right? So you have to keep that in mind. The sunlight might fool you. Oh, it's sunlight, it's nice, I can take her out. No. If you take her inside into 70-degree temperature and you suddenly look at the sunlight and take her out in 60 degree, she's gonna suffer badly. Yes, it's because of soil. Your soil is rotting and it's waterlogged. You have to take care of you cannot keep, that's what I said, in winter, mostly Tulsi Maharani leaves because of waterlogging. She doesn't like her feet wet.
We have time for one last comment.
Yeah, we'll have a seminar. Yes, sure.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes. Thank you very much, Mataji, for that beautiful class. Explaining the glories of Tulsi Maharani with so much technical details and so much devotion. I'm sure, at least for myself, my appreciation, my adoration, my devotion for Tulsi Maharani will grow higher the next time I see her, serve her. Thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank you.
Just to give you some background about Mataji, Her Grace Devi Gaurangi Mataji is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and she's been practicing this beautiful process of bhakti for more than 7-8 years. And she's extremely talented, very well-versed, well-read in Shastric knowledge, Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Sri Chaitanya, Charitamrita, as it was evident from the verses she quoted and recited in today's class. And she takes wonderful care of the altar decoration, growing flowers for the deities, and also helping with so many services. And whatever services she does, cooking, cleaning, planning for festivals, she does it with so much care and love and attention to detail, thoroughness. We are very, very fortunate to have Mataji as part of our congregation, raising her 2 lovely children with so much devotion, Ryan and Neil, along with her wonderful husband, His Grace Tarun Kishore Prabhu. We all know Tarun Kishore Prabhu is involved in so many services in the temple. And it is all possible because of Devi Gaurangi Mataji's personal sacrifice and care for the community, care for the betterment of the congregation. Let us express our gratitude and appreciation for Mataji by loudly chanting Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! The next part of the program is Aarti. We request all the devotees to stand up and participate in the Aarti.
Namo Vishnupada Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur
all devotees to bow down, please.
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र शिष्य भक्ति वेदांत श्रीरंडी गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। ISKCON BBT फाउंडर आचार्य शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। पतित पावन सेवियर ऑफ द फॉलन सोल जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र शिष्य भक्ति सिद्धांत ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। ISKCON गुरु परंपरा की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से को श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। व्रज भूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय। मायापुर धाम की जय। नवदीप धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मई की जय। जय श्री राधा दामोदर की जय। गंगा मई की जय। जमुना मई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी महारानी वृंदा देवी की जय। योग धर्म संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। साम वेद भक्त वृंद की जय। और प्रेमानंद। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. All glories to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Jai.
Next, we will do Narsimha prayers for the spiritual and material protection of everyone.